All right, thanks for taking the time to sit down with Slowtwitch and talk about your race coming up. We're at the IRONMAN Des Moines North American Championship, and you're here racing.
Yes.
Um, Talk to us a little bit about where you're at in the season and your race that's coming up, and how you feel, and you ready to go, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm one race away from the mid-season break. Obviously did World Champs in St. George, and then raced North American Champs in Chattanooga a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know if I was going to do this one or not. I kind of made that decision mid-race in Chattanooga. Basically, Julie said, if the body's feeling good, you'll know. For a race like this, you've got to be willing to. The body's got to be feeling good, and you've got to be willing to push yourself to that spot mentally. And coming out of St. George, you just never know how things are going to come around, and so. Things went well in Chattanooga, so we decided to make one more push. I'm happy to be racing here in Iowa. I spent most of my adult life living in Iowa. Just moved out to Colorado 18 months ago or so. So good to be back. I should have a lot of support out on the course. I've got a lot of family who will be here, family who are actually racing as well. So that's an added element of fun and adds a little bit more importance to the day as well.
What's your plan on race day?
Plan is to, there's a bit of an unknown with the swim. We actually have to get out of the water and cross a sandbar twice because the water is so low. It's a bit of an unknown on how that's going to go, if it makes things break up a little bit more, or if it actually keeps things together because guys can sprint the gaps closed on the land. We'll see what happens there. But with that being the unknown, it's hard to have an exact plan once we get on the bike. I definitely expect a couple guys off the front. Tio is in great shape. I've been training with him all year, and it's great to have him back on the course. And I think he'll have a couple guys with him up front. And so it'll be early on. It'll have to be make the decision to try to chase or just sit in a little bit and do the work on the run. So that'll be kind of a game time decision.
Now, everyone wants to, you're known as a runner, but you spend a lot of time working on your bike.
Yep.
Talk to us about your bike and what you've done recently. You've been in the wind tunnel and you've gone through bike changes and bike fits and...
Yeah, I've been with QR since 2015, I believe. So my second year as a pro, and they've done a fantastic job of helping me get as aero as I possibly can. Obviously, spent most of that time riding the PR6, but they just came out with the VPR, and just having a small part of the development of that, I was able to go into the tunnel when it was still in prototype phase, and we made some tinkering and adjustments there almost 18 months ago, or I guess just over a year ago, and just talking with Brad and kind of talking through what was important to me, it was a lot of fun to be involved with that process. I love the bike. I've been on it since December of last year, and changed my front end setup. I'm on a Drag 2Z prototype right now, which is very comfortable and helps me control the bike a little bit better, especially in the crosswinds. And so all those little things definitely add up. Being aero is only part of it, though. You have to be strong enough to hold that position and strong enough to put the power out to make it matter. And that's a constant evolution, I guess, as well. I've been working with Matt Bottrell and obviously Coach Julie, and just riding with some good guys. I do a lot of training with Justin Metzler and Tim O'Donnell. We work really well together. I think we complement each other's strengths really well and kind of bring each other around. And then obviously Tim's been in the game for a long time, so I can learn a lot from him as well.
In an Ironman, is there ever a moment where you've got it for the day? And if those moments come, when do they usually appear?
When you hit the carpet, you can sometimes breathe a sigh of relief if you're having a great day. An Ironman's a long day, and you've seen it, plenty of times where somebody's out front and just runs into a little bit of trouble, whether it's a nutrition thing or the heat gets them or what. It's gonna warm up significantly in the last hour to hour and a half on the run. So there's never a safe moment. I've passed out with 2.5 miles to go in a race before, so you can never let that focus down. You can never breathe that sigh of relief. There might be a time where you kind of, if you've got a decent lead, where you make a decision to go into protection mode. But with the changes of and how PTO points are working right now, you get rewarded for keeping the pedal to the metal. So the faster you go, the more points you get. So it's always that battle of hopefully I'm in a position to have to make a decision like that. Otherwise I'll be chasing my tail off all day, and there's no choice to go safe mode if that's the case.
Now, your wife and your sister and some other people that are on your team are racing. What advice do you have for them going into the race on Sunday?
Yeah, it's always fun to have people that racing, and always a little bit more special to have family racing as well. People going out there, it's a long day. Stay patient, and it's going to heat up as the day goes on. So, just because it's feeling pretty good early on the bike, don't neglect the nutrition plan, because it'll come back and haunt you. This Iowa humidity is no joke. When you're chewing the air at 6 in the morning, you'll know what I'm talking about.